The reading from Lent in Plain Sight. For Tuesday, its basis is from Genesis chapter 37, verses 1 to 11. Verse 3 is, "Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his children because he was the son of his old age, and he had made him a long robe with sleeves, coats of favor." Family stories shape us, often unknowingly. Our work ethic or inability to tolerate rudeness, our need for success, or our views of money. How we interact with strangers and family members alike. All this can be passed on from generation to generation. The stories of our family, known or not, are often the conduit for that inheritance. The writer of Genesis tells us this is the story of the family of Jacob. Interestingly, the family story of Jacob begins with 17-year-old Joseph, the baby, the favored youngest son, the cocky adolescent, foolish enough to snitch on his older brothers, and then tell them of his dreams for ruling over them. The teenager, parading around in the ostentatious coat bestowed upon him by his doting father. This is the story of the family of Jacob. And the family of Jacob, in modern terms, demonstrates obvious dysfunction. Jacob plays favorites. Joseph's brothers hate him. Joseph's older brothers hate him because he is so clearly his father's favorite. And they hate him even more because of his words. His dream of ruling over the family, the youngest, usurping the role of patriarch. Jealousy rules. Soon, brothers will plot against brother and then lie to their father about it. The code of favor will become evidence both to the crime and the cover-up. Estrangement will be the theme of this family story, taking up many chapters. This is the story of the family of Jacob, the family God chooses, the family that God will use to further salvation history. All of which is to say, we ought to feel comfort in knowing that God works through all our family stories, even the most painful and dysfunctional among them. Jacob could not know that that heartfelt gift had an impact. He did not understand that the coat of many colors, or the robe with long sleeves, the outer garment, would set his youngest apart, would exacerbate the gulf between his children. Joseph, that 17-year-old boy, did not imagine his favored status would get him thrown in a pit and carried off to Egypt. Even the older brothers, who so hated the overconfident teen, never foresaw the suffering they would bring to the father they loved. Family stories are like that. Messy, full of inadvertent hurts, littered with seasons of estrangement, and punctuated with tears of joy and sorrow. We walk around in the coat our father gave us, oblivious to the impact our wearing it has on those closest to us. We keep our youngest words in mind, but fail to recognize that our other children need to know we understand their frustration with their brother. We live the stories told and kept secret, unaware that they move us to act in ways we will come to regret. God indeed works through all our families and all our stories, the chapters of triumph and the ones where we hit rock bottom. God also gives us the ability to recognize the power, both good and not so good, of the coats we give and receive, wear and steal, treasure and disdain. The story of the family of Jacob ends with reconciliation. Our family story through Jesus Christ does too. God's salvation story has the power to shape every family narrative, not only in the end, but right now. Some questions for reflection. Have you ever received a special gift from a family member? What was it? How did you feel about receiving it? How did other family members respond to the gift? Have you ever given such a gift? Number two, what are some of the stories of your family? What do they reveal about your family's values? Are they stories you want to continue to live, or do you want to change them? Number three, when have you experienced a family estrangement? Did reconciliation happen? If so, how? If not, why not? Join me in prayer, please. Gracious God, you work through ordinary people. Choose to tell your salvation story through complicated families, refusing to give up on us even when we hurt one another deeply. As we consider our own family stories, we see both beauty and pain. We know we have loved well, but also hurt those we love the most. Forgive us. Bring reconciliation. Use the seasons of joy and the seasons of confusion to bring us all closer to you and more tightly bound to each other. Amen.